Snake Cinema Podcast stepping in. Your one-stop review, let it sink in. Hip-hop vibes, we break it down. Laughs and insights all around.
What it do, what it do. Welcome to another episode of Snake Cinema Podcast. I am your humble host, Prince Elias of Creative Reptiles. And this episode is brought to you by ENT Reptiles, Orlando and TJ. Thank you for always supporting your boy, supporting the channel, supporting both Snake Cinema Podcast and the Shenanigans Podcast. So I appreciate y'all wholeheartedly. Let's see. Man, today is going to be a good day. It's going to be a very not heavy, busy, multiple topics. Today we have the NAACP Image Awards to talk about, the recap that happened last weekend. We also have J. Cole's The Fall Off album review, as well as LMA's Do You Still Love Me album review. So tap in. If you missed the live, hit the replay, hashtag replay gang. And I appreciate y'all for all your support. Let's see. Um, Last week I did an in memoriam to my running coach, Jeff Galloway. Um, because I really felt heaviness in my heart and mourning. But there was another death that happened last week, a very prominent death that happened. And I did not want to put two heavy hitters in one episode. So I purposely left him out for this particular episode because I knew I was going to be talking about the NAACP awards and be reviewing some black artists. So it just made sense to just hold off on talking about this gentleman until today. But with heavy hearts, last week we did, or a week before last, we did lose a very prominent leader, not only in black culture, but in American history as a whole. And I want to talk about him just for a little bit because he deserves it. And that is Reverend Jesse Jackson, who passed away, unfortunately, a couple of weeks ago. And actually, his funeral, they laid him to rest and had his homegoing funeral yesterday. I did watch some of the live stream yesterday. It was so beautiful. It was long as hell, but you know, black churches, you know how we are. Especially with funerals. But he deserved it. He deserved it. It was it was a beautiful service, a beautiful way to send him off to the ancestral plains, to be with the other prominent leaders. But yeah, Reverend Jesse Jackson did pass away, and I just want to talk about him just a little bit. I'm not gonna be before you long because everybody should know who Jesse Jackson is. But just in case you've been hiding under a rock, Reverend Jesse Jackson. Let's see. Let me get his IMDb. Not IMDb. What's this thing called? Biography. I'm so used to talking about actors and musicians. That's it. The wrong thing. Okay, so let's do this. All right. Reverend Jesse Jackson is a civil rights activist and former Shadow U.S. Senate. He was born in 1941 and he passed away February 17th, 2026. Um, it says he was an American rights activist, an LGBTQ rights activist, politician, ordained Baptist minister, a protege of Dr. Martin Luther King and James Bevelle during the Civil Rights Movement. He became one of the prominent civil rights leaders of the 20th century in the early 21st centuries, and an ardent, sorry, my dyslexia kicking in, advocate and early supporter of LGBT rights in the United States. From 1991 to 1997, he served as a shadow delegate and a shadow senator for D.C. He was born in Greenville, South Carolina. Blah 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 blah. Um, but yeah, and he pretty much did a lot of things. He ran for president. He is survived by his wife Jacqueline Brown and six children. And yeah, he was definitely a prodigy of Martin Luther King Jr. He was actually with Martin Luther King when he was assassinated here in Memphis. He was actually there at the Lorraine Hotel up on the balcony. So yeah, um, a lot of people that he worked alongside um, are no longer with us. He actually got to witness a lot of them pass away way too soon, way too early. And but he continued on. He continued to fight. He never stopped. And he did have this famous speech called I Am Somebody, which I recited back when I was in elementary school. I think I was like in third grade or whatever, third or fourth grade. But, anyways, when we had school programs, I don't know why my mom volunteered me to do it, but she made me speak, and I recited the I Am Somebody speech or poem. Very famous. He even did a children friendly version on Sesame Street that you can watch on YouTube. That clip is dope. Where him and a whole bunch of children from all walks of life repeating the affirmation or the poem. And I just got a little insert for you. It's not the whole poem, but I just feel like in a way for me to honor him is to go back to third grade me and recite this speech that I once did. So here's a quote. I am somebody. I am somebody. I am a child of God. I may not be educated, but I am somebody. I may not have any money, but I am somebody. I may not eat steak every day, but I am somebody. I may not look the way you look, but I am somebody. And that's just a small insert. The speech is way longer than that, but it's basically a positive affirmation that he made for people of color, for black people, for poor people, to remind us that we matter and that we are valuable regardless of what society says, regardless of what um racists say, regardless of what anybody say. We matter, we belong, we are somebody. So rest in peace, Reverend Jesse Jackson. You did your part. You did what you came on this earth to do, and well done. Well done. And again, I did watch some of his funeral yesterday. It was a beautiful, beautiful homegoing. The parts I did see, all the real presidents showed up. Obama, Clinton, um, Biden, um, and even Kamala Harris. And they showed up, and some of them got up and spoke for Jesse Jackson, and their speeches were very beautiful. Everybody was long-winded as hell, but that's a black funeral for you. But it was worth it. He deserved it. He did so much in his life, and he deserved it. And I will go back and try to find the parts of the funeral that I missed. But watching it, even though I'm not a part of the church anymore, and I don't subscribe to a lot of the religious ideologies. Um, Black culture still steep in religion, and when times like this happen, when funerals or weddings or any type of celebration, um, or just traditionals happen, there's still a sense of pride, and I can still see the beauty in it. I can still find a sense of pride and a sense of hope when watching. Like, I do not like going to funerals at all. I hate it. um I've hated funerals for a long time, and I feel like it's not about the person who passed. It's something for us to cope with, but at the same time, I do appreciate the tradition of it, and I do appreciate everybody coming together to celebrate, whoever the funeral was, whoever meant so much to us, and basically our way of saying goodbye to them. And so, even though I'm not subscribed to religion or church or affiliated or anything like that, I do the funeral of Jesse Jackson, just watching it, people singing, the choir, the speeches, the eulogies. It's just something, it's just a beautiful sight to behold. Um, and yeah, and it gives hope. So, anyways, rest in peace, Reverend Jesse Jackson. I wanted you to have your own in memoriam on the show. I did not want it to be shared with anybody else, but yeah, we keep losing our legends, but it's life. Is life. Especially at this age, he lived a long, prosperous life. And like I said, he ended up witnessing way more of his colleagues and people who he worked alongside die way too soon, way too early. And someone said he had the burden of living. And so, you know, it's just he outlived a lot of people. He outlived a lot of people in the civil rights movement. But I do appreciate him and his work even up to the very end. And I also appreciate that even though he was a black man, even though he was a minister, a reverend, he still stood up for LGBTQ rights as well. And I respect that. I respect any black man who's not afraid to stand up and be an ally for the community, and not subscribe to the ideologies of colonization and slave masters and BS bullshit that man made up that has nothing to do in the Bible. But it is what it is. Not gonna go on that diatribe, but I appreciate when black men actually show some of their humanity and even be allies for people who are not in within their community. But anyways, I digress. Rest in peace, Jesse Jackson. Um, and you will be missed by so many people in the community. All right. Enough of the news of the week. Let's talk to the people in the Chizzy chats before we get started with the show. Let's see who is in the audience watching live. Brr, 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 brr. Look who came first. Father Don, you already know. Out walking the pups. Thank you, Father. Appreciate you. Jamie, Tire Guys, thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. My sis, Makiana, thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. Randall, number 6, thanks for tapping in. Got you playing in the background as I clean these tubs. Appreciate you, Randall. Randall and Big Double L, his brother, will be guests on Nikki and Lace's show, Show Us Your Rack, on tomorrow. So please go tap in and support. And when you're in the chats, make sure you comment number 6 for Randall. But thanks for tapping in. Appreciate your support every week. Mitzi, thanks for tapping in. And Parker, thank you, thank you. Appreciate you. Ah, shoot. Here go my niece, the menace. Banna, thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. Let's see. Chicken Mine, Heathen Hatchery, thanks for tapping in. And Crash, I know Crash somewhere in the background, wilding out. Tommy, thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. Out herping. Nice. Hope you find some dope stuff out there. That's what's up. I'm gonna go herping one of these days. I just don't like bugs. uh, let's see. All right, I think that's it for right now. So let's go ahead and get started. Everybody's just saying hey to each other. I appreciate y'all listening. And for those who will be coming in late or hit the replay, hashtag replay gang, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, let's see. So let's go in order of importance to me. We have 2 albums that I need to review, as well as talk about the NAACP Image Awards. So let's go ahead and let's just get the albums out the way. We will start with the one. Let's see. So we have an R&B album to review as well as a hip hop album. And I was supposed to been did this weeks ago, but life be life and schedules got changed around. But let's get started with Ella May. Ella May is an R&B singer, and she dropped last month. Do You Still Love Me? It was released February 6th. It is her third studio album, and it features 14 tracks produced by DJ Mustard. Mustard. Y'all know he made one of the best hits of last year with Kendrick Lamar. But he did this as he executively produced this album. Um, and let's see. The R&B project explores themes of love, and it has 14 tracks. And I appreciate LMA because there were no 2 minute, 1 minute songs. These were legit, real songs with real verses and hooks and choruses and all that jazz. And so I appreciate that whenever an R&B artist do that because, like I said, we are in a TikTok age era where a lot of artists from all genres, all walks of life, are now trying to give us these short, tiny 2 minute, 1 minute and 30-second quote unquote songs, and expect us to pay for that or stream that enough to get them some money, and that's some bull. And I'm always complaining about that shit, but I'm glad that this was more of a traditional R&B in that sense. Let's talk about the good right quick. The good is her vocals have is just as great as they always been. um I've seen her live in when she came to Memphis a few years back, and I think I seen her. Yeah, and I've also seen her in Nashville, so I've seen her twice. And her voice is so beautiful. She sounds the same live as she does on her albums, and I love when singers are like that. Y'all know there are a lot of singers out there where you hear their album and then you go see them live in concert, and that stuff is a stark difference. And I can report that LMA is not one of those artists. She really sounds like what she do on the album. So her vocals were top notch and great. The singing was good, amazing as always. Nothing new on that front. Um, it did bring back my love for R&B. I'm not gonna lie, because for the past several years, R&B has been lacking, and I'm not the type of person who only listens to what's played on the radio. I listen to all forms of R&B, like soul, um, more. I listen to neo soul. I listen to the R&B, the pop R&B. I listen to a lot of different styles of R&B, and every I'm not gonna say it's all been lacking, but the good stuff has been few and far between. Um, for a while now, a lot of the good stuff has been lacking, and listening to this album, it kind of brought my love back to R&B. Kind of remind me back of the early 2000s, before R&B artists started to try to rap and be more rappers and stuff. um it like back when we had, early Alicia Keys and early Monica and early Brandy and stuff like that. It brought me back to that feeling. It was the feeling, the energy while listening to this album brought me back to that. And I was like, yeah, I love this. I love this. Um, I try not to compare artists from their previous work. It's kind of hard. It's just human nature of us. We're always going to do that. We're always going to do that. But this is her third album, studio album, and I will say I probably enjoyed this more than her previous works. I might have to go back to the second album because there's certain stuff I can't remember in the second album. I do remember her debut album because her debut album was amazing. But I will say that this one probably even beat that, which is hard because usually people have high regards of first albums, and then there's always the sophomore slump, And I don't think she hit the sophomore slump. I actually did enjoy her second album, even though I can't remember most of some of the songs. But I will say, at least right now, it could change, but right now, Do You Still Love Me? I do enjoy this way more that I can remember than her previous album. Um, so yeah, I will say that some highlight songs, some songs I really, really have on repeat on my playlist. Um, Somebody's Son. I love that vibe. Outside. Tell Her is top notch. Chasing Circles and No Angels. I really, really love those. Those are my highlight songs. But to be honest, I don't. There's no whack song on this album to me. Um, but those were the songs that I have on repeat. Um, and I really like her collaboration with DJ Mustard. I really think those two combos are amazing. I think those two working together, their working relationship is top notch. There's like a chemistry there. Certain artists specifically work with certain producers, like when Aaliyah was always working with Missy Elliott and Timberland. You know, when Nas made his comeback and was with, is it Hit Boy or Hitman? I can't remember. Charge it to my head and on my heart. I'm trying to remember. But when Nas came back and did that trilogy album back to back, man, that combo, that producer, it's something about when an artist and a producer come together and they have chemistry out the wazoo. Justin Timberlake and Timberland, like you can feel the vibe, you can feel that they were in the studios rocking out, writing. You can just feel it when you hear the music and you like, yeah, this shit goes. And that's kind of like how I feel when listening to this album. I don't say this is bad, but I will say this is my only critique of this album. This is my only critique, and it's not really bad, it's not really whack. It's just that certain songs, and it's probably the songs that I did not recommend or I skipped. Certain songs the production sounds a little too simple, um, or kind of similar in a way, kind of repetitive, where it's the drum where it's the drum kicks or drum beats with acoustic guitar. It just sounds very similar. Like there were certain songs on this album that sound very similar, beat wise, not content wise, not what her topics or what she was talking about, but instrumental beat wise. It was like there was at one point when I was listening to the album, I was like, it feel like I just heard this song. That's what it felt like. So I will say that's my only critique, is that certain songs were a little, production wise, were a little too simple, too um mm, I'm trying to find a positive way of saying it, because it's not bad, it's not whack, it's not sucky. It's just that it was, I hate using the word mid, because I feel like that's a word that's been thrown around a lot with music artists, when people are talking about whether it's good or bad. It's just, the best way I can describe it, simple, just simple. It's like a beat, uh, a drum beat with an acoustic guitar, where it's like do 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 do, like that. It's kind of like that. I just wanted more. I wanted more instrumental wise added to certain songs, where I feel like, some different. Some could be like, let's just say they did a song, just let's just say DJ Mustard did a song with her, which I'm probably sure he has. But let's just say he did a whole album with her. I know that her, because she's a musician, um the artist Her, Gabby Will, for those who don't know, there's an artist named Her. um she would, because she's an actual musician who plays the guitar, she would have like electric guitars added to it. They would have like more instruments added to certain songs, and I just feel like that's what's kind of lacking in certain songs of this album. But like I said, this album is not whack at all, it's not boring, it's not, it's actually good. I really, really enjoyed this album. Like I said, she's at 3 albums in, and I think I like this way more than some of her previous works. But that's the only critique I can probably give. But it's not something to be upset about. Like I feel like everybody's gonna find something or maybe a few things on this album that they will like and enjoy and put on their playlist. But yeah, so how would I rank LMA's Do You Still Love Me? I would give this 8 out of 10. I really do. I know there's a lot of songs on here I will go back to. I will listen to throughout the year. She might, depending on who else comes out, she might be top on the top 10 list at the end of 2026. We'll see. But for right now, I'm really, really enjoying this album. Very good. I'm happy that we getting some good R&B music back. And I hope that all artists continue this streak. Uh, that they're thinking more quality over quantity, and they're actually giving us actual art and actual songs instead of just TikTok snippets, you know what I'm saying, or stuff geared towards trying to be TikTok famous or whatever. But yeah, I give it an 8 out of 10. I highly recommend it. LMA's Do You Still Love Me? I think everybody should check that out. I think it's a very good, solid R&B album. Let me see. Did I miss anyone in the Chizzy chats while I was talking? Stan the man. Thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you, bro. Miss you, Stan. Yeah, smash the like button. Don't be a creep. Appreciate you. Dickie, thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. Appreciate y'all. Caw. Wiz, thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. Tap into sophisticated ignorance tonight with your boy Wiz and the rest of the crew. Oh, nice, nice. Good morning, Faja. All right. Next album. Let's go to the next album. Now, this album's been long anticipated and not just for him to release it, but it's also been long anticipated for me to review this shit because I'm supposed to be in review this. But we're finally here. Let's talk about J. Cole's The Fall Off. The Fall Off. Now, J. Cole, man, he's been the talk in a lot of hip hop circles lately, for the past couple of years. One, because he's been teasing the fall off for a long ass time, because this is supposed to be his quote unquote retirement album or final album or whatever BS these rappers be doing. We don't believe rappers who say they are retired, but this is supposed to be his final album, the fall off. But um, anywho, I will say this: a lot of critics and a lot of hip hop heads and a lot of hip hop fans who do YouTube and stuff like that, I feel like they've been focusing mostly on him as a person. Um, focusing more on they keep focusing more on him being fake, being phony, about him bowing out of the beef when Kendrick and Drake was going at it a year or two ago. It's about to be 2 years now since the initial beef and stuff like that. So um, people have been harping on that, and I'm not gonna do that. Like I don't honestly, we're at the point. Like I said, it's about to be 2 years since the whole Drake and Kendrick beef and the big three conversation and stuff like that. If you guys hear a train, I'm sorry. I'm at the coffee shop and the train is going by. So if y'all hear that in the background, I apologize. But at the end of the day, I really feel like y'all are beating a dead horse. Um, like it happened. Kendrick won. Drake took an L. Well, he's still not taking an L because he tried to sue, which is crazy. And J. Cole bowed out. So let's all move on. It's been 2 years. It's time to move on. And whether you agree with J. Cole's decision not to participate in the beef or not, or apologize after he put out that one diss track or not, like it's cool. It's okay. Like this whole parasocial relationship that y'all have with these rappers is getting sad, especially some of you grown men. It's getting real sad. Now I know some people are reporting and talking about this for content, and I get that, talking, doing the hot button topics just to get views and clicks and money. I get that. But some of y'all were taking this stuff very seriously to the point to where there are some YouTubers and some music critics that start beefing with each other over this. And it's like, y'all, it's not that serious. Y'all are fighting each other worse than Kendrick and Drake was fighting each other. And they beef and hate towards each other was personal. Like what's going on, like this is crazy, like the whole parasocial dynamic that some of y'all have with these artists is weird. Like y'all can't talk about Nicki fans, and y'all can't talk about Nicki fans, Rihanna fans, Beyonce fans, the Beehive. Y'all can't talk about none of them the way some of y'all are still going at it about Drake and Kendrick and J. Cole. Like it's weird. It's very, very weird. And y'all need to get it together. But anyways, I digress. I'm not coming to this review from that standpoint. I don't even care no more about that whole beef stuff. I'm judging his music based off his music, the art, not the artist, not who he is as a man, but the art. What did he give us to consume? And that is what I'm basing it off of. So let's talk about the positives of the fall off. The fall off, what I love about it is that one, just like LMA, it was some real songs, a lot of 5 minute songs, a lot of 4 minute songs. I love when that happens. Like you give me three full verses, you give me bridges, you give me like that is chef's kiss for me. When rappers give me full 16 bars and not only like actually three full 16 bar verses, like J at the end of the day, J. Cole is a rapper. He's a real artist. He's a real um creative. And that is a positive and a winner in my book when it comes to the music. Also, I love, love, love the storytelling of this album. It's a 2 disc album, and I put that in quotations because I mean he does have physical CDs you can buy, and I think his website he also has a vinyl you can buy, which I kind of want that just to hang up as decorations. But um, most of y'all are consuming this music off streaming services like Apple and Spotify and YouTube Music, so the 2 disc thing is BS when it comes to streaming, but he gave us 2 disc albums, side A, side B. Side A is 29. It's called 29, and that is basically him storytelling his life as a 29-year-old going back home to South Carolina to visit his old neighborhood, his peoples, his family and friends, and the whole storytelling. Every song pretty much tells it's a connected story of and of his life as at the age 29, and it was beautifully written. The production was amazing. I love that a lot of these songs he gave homage to Southern culture, Southern hip hop, Southern music. Certain songs sound like it was coming from South Carolina. Certain songs sound like Atlanta. Certain songs sound like Memphis. Certain songs sound like New Orleans. Like he really gave homage to the South as a whole, as a Southern hip hop, as pretty much the blueprint for 29. And it was real, and of course, mixed with his actual rapping capabilities, real good. I really had a good time listening to that. A lot of songs are definitely on my workout playlist when I'm lifting weights. But anyways, like I said, he's telling an actual story, and also in on the this two, which is 39, which him at the age of 39, um, and reflecting on his life and where he's going, his future, and stuff like that. You can actually see the mentality, as flawed as he is as a human being, because we all are, nobody's perfect, but you can see his growth as a human. He's not afraid to show his asshole side of him being a jerk, him neglecting people in his life, him cheating and being a womanizer, him being, whatever. He's not afraid to show that side of him. He's not afraid to show all of him, the good sides, the good parts of him. And I really do love that about this record. Of course, he's going to give you he's going to show you his ego. He's going to say, I'm the best rapper, or I'm going to kill all you niggas out there. All the stuff he's been doing his whole career. Um, and I think that's the reason why a lot of people keep bringing up the beef and stuff, because they like, how can you rap that you the best when, you know, when given the opportunity to showcase that you're the best, you backed out again. I don't care about none of that stuff. It is what it is. But I just like his flow. I like how he raps. I like his vocals. I just like, and sometimes I do like when he get braggadocious. As crazy and hypocritical as it might sound, I do like when he brags and be like, "I'm the best," in it. But every rapper does that. Every rapper. Name a rapper who ain't wrote not one bar saying that they're the best, and I can name you at least 20 of them who ain't never, who ain't never participated in any type of beef or battle. I can name you plenty of them who ain't never step up to the plate and show that they the best, but they gonna brag about it in their songs. Like, it is what it is. So yeah, I love his flows, his rapping capabilities. It's top. It's the same J. Cole. If you like all of his previous work, then you're definitely gonna enjoy this. Um, I love the storytelling on both tracks. I do like 29 better than 39, but they're great. Like, most of these records are amazing. And it's the J. Cole that I love, that I fell in love with as an artist, and that I continue to love. I do have some critiques. I do have some critiques, and it has nothing to do with the beef, but I do feel like there's certain parts where J. Cole tries too hard. Um, for example, safety. J. Cole has always, in the beginning of his career, he has always told the line of being mixture of being homophobic as well as an ally, which is crazy. Like, there are certain lines that he would actually say the F word and stuff like that. But then he'll turn around and call people lame who hate gay people. So he's always told that line of one foot in and one foot out, which some people have called him out on that, and I agree. They like, hey, either you with us or you not, or just shut up if you're not. And I feel like there's one song in particular where on that's called Safety, where he brings up a friend of his who died of AIDS, who was gay and in the closet. And I see where he was coming from. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Kendrick Lamar, when he did Auntie Diaries, where he was talking about his relationship with his aunt who ended up transitioning into a man. And I could see, and one thing I love about Kendrick Lamar's song Auntie Diaries is that he did it from a point of view of a nephew who had to grieve his aunt and embrace his uncle, and the um the toxicity of his mindset and his mentality when they first came out to him, and how he had to learn to embrace, kind of like what Jay-Z did with 444 when he did that song dedicated to his mom, and he talked about his mom dating women because his mom is a lesbian. But I feel like when these rappers who are straight men trying to share their thoughts and opinions about loved ones or people in their lives who are part of the community and how they had to grapple with that, I feel like Jay-Z did it way better. um and then Kendrick Lamar with Auntie Diaries did his. It was still flawed and imperfect, but hey, we're all human, we're all flawed, we're all imperfect. But I feel like it was a great representation of someone who had to mourn someone that they not physically mourn, but emotionally mourn, someone they grew up a certain way, and then when that person transitioned, now they got to get used to this new person that they're learning all over again. And I feel like J. Cole tried to do that with Safety when he was talking about his friend who they kind of neglected growing up, and then he find out years later that that friend died of AIDS or whatever. and him trying to grapple with the guilt of how he treated his friend and what his friend had to go through. But I feel like he dropped the ball. He missed the mark. Like the target was right there and it went way over. Um and in a way he tried to call himself and his friends out for not being a good friend to that person, but the way his flows, he still tried to slide in the F word and stuff like that. And it was like, I get why people criticize him on that. Like, dude, either you're an ally or you're not. And if you're not, can you please just not speak on it anymore? Because every time you try, because he's tried it on multiple albums with multiple different songs of be like, hey, I'm cool with y'all. I love y'all. I embrace y'all. But keep that over there. Like, it was just very, it's hard to explain. It's like, dude, just don't even speak on this topic no more. I would rather you not even try to be an ally. This is how you're delivering it, because it's not good. It's trash. It's like backhanded compliments. Um, and so that's my biggest criticism of J. Cole. Like, I would rather a rapper not speak on us at all than try to pretend or try to portray themselves as an ally and miss the mark. I just rather you just don't say anything at all. Don't even stick up for us, because you're not doing a good job. You're actually making the situation worse. So that's a critique. Also, lately a lot of rappers have been trying to channel Tupac or speak from Tupac's point of view or whatever. And he did a song basically where he's trying to say, what if Tupac and Biggie actually stopped and had a conversation with each other? Maybe they would still be alive, if they just had a conversation and talked it out. And it's like, nah, that didn't work. It didn't work. It again, he good concept, poor execution. Like the target was right there. He almost had it. He threw the dart and it went way and hit a wall somewhere. Like it just did not happen. Um, and that song he could have just left off the cut, and just leave it alone. Um, it just was not. It sucked. I'm be honest, it sucked. That's one of them songs I will never go back to. But it is what it is. It was just weird. It was just weird. Um, but I get what he was trying to do. But we're saying, what's that? The road to hell is paved with good intentions. I saw his intentions and it just did not work. But yeah, I just wish all these rappers could just leave Tupac and Biggie alone at this point. They've been gone for how many years? Um, and either people are trying to rap just like them, or try to talk about their point of view, or like, like, what if this, what if that. That's the name of the song, What If. And that song I would have just left off the track list, just left off the album. But it like I said, good concept, artistically poor execution. um it just did not hit the mark, and it's not a song I will go back to. But yeah, those are my only critiques really on the album. I will say some of his production is hit or miss. J. Cole does makes his own beats. He's done it a lot. And that's one critique that a lot of people have of him. It's like, hey, you should collaborate more with other people instead of trying to doing everything yourself. And I think he has some producers on here, but for the most part, he tried to do everything himself. And some of the stuff are hits. Like I said, I love that he paid homage to a lot of Southern music. But there were also some misses. But not something that I'd be like, oh, that's a whack song or that sucks. Like, nah, it just okay, mid, I guess. But overall, to this album, I really, really enjoyed the fall off. I love the concept. I love the storytelling. I love, like, he could legit make a movie off this album. um 29, one of him at the age of 29, and then a movie of him at the age of 39. Like, this was really peak storytelling from a hip-hop artist, and I really, really enjoyed it. Even despite all the critiques that I had, I would still recommend this album if you haven't listened to it already. I think you will find some good songs on there that you will love. Songs that I personally recommend that I love: Poor Thing, Legacy, Bounce Road Blues, Who Who the Fuck Is You, Bombs in the Ville, hey, I Love Her Again. I Love Her Again is amazing. It's basically him talking about how much he loves hip hop, but in the form of hip hop being a woman. Uh, and the last track, Ocean Way, is pretty dope. Oh, Quick Stop is pretty good though too. I like Quick Stop. But yeah, overall, this was a dope album. I really enjoyed it. I would give this 7.5, 7.5 out of 10. It's not his best. It's definitely not his worst, but I had fun with it. And if this is his final album, if he's really retiring like he claimed he is, which I doubt it because every rapper claims they're gonna retire, then they come back later. Um, but if this is his final album, then I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it being the last hurrah. And so, yeah, had a great time with that. So the fall off, 7.5 out of 10. J. Cole, and I really enjoy it and I recommend it. Let me see. Anybody snuck in here while I was talking? Bosa, brother, thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. Love you, Bosa. All right. Now, let's get to the meat and potatoes of this show. Again, we've been talking award seasons for the past 3 months. Almost every other week, I'm talking about some award show. Well, today, this week, we are talking the NAACP Image Awards, which happened last Saturday night. So I couldn't talk about it last Saturday on the podcast. It happens the final day of Black History Month. So super pumped about that. I did watch some of it that night, and then I watched the rest on Sunday. All the parts I missed, it aired on BET and BET Plus app. And let's see. And when I tell you Black Excellence was there, it really was. It was hosted by Dion Cole, the comedian, and I think he did a great job as the host. I loved his opening monologue. I love his joke about the whole BAFTA situation and the Tourette's. I thought that was hilarious. I laughed my ass off, and I don't care who got offended with it, but that was funny. I think he did it very tactful and tasteful, but let people know we ain't one to be played with. But that was a good joke in his opening monologue. But yeah, like I said, it was Black excellence at its best. And this is why I respect any Black award show, because we give ourselves flowers that we deserve instead of depending on outside institutions. I also love that, kind of like the Grammys did, where they had a separate award show the day before. For the smaller artists, they NAACP Image Awards also had theirs. It's called the Creative Honors. That happened, I think, the day before the actual award show, and it was more smaller. And I do like that that one honored smaller creatives, smaller people who aren't necessarily the tradition go the traditional route. And by tradition, I mean TV or movies by big corporations. These are people who are more YouTubers, podcasters, small comedians that probably got famous off TikTok and stuff like that. Um, they honored them during the creative honors. They honored a lot of people who work behind the scenes, like fashion designers in movies and cinematographers and stuff like that. So, um, like I said, I like that they gave the smaller people their own show and their chance to shine and their chance to get something that get their flowers. that they probably wouldn't got with other traditional media, like certain people who probably would never be nominated for like in the TV category and stuff like that, because they're more smaller media. They're the YouTubers, the political commentators, the TikTokers, the vloggers, the streamers. There were some streamers that were there in attendance, and I like that they gave them their chance to shine. So I appreciated that. And that was hosted by, I believe, the comedian Kevin Sage and his wife. I believe they hosted that particular ceremony. But then the next day, they had the actual show, the big show, hosted by Dion Cole. And let's see, let's look at some highlights. I love that they did do a in memoriam. So they did honor Jesse Jackson, and Samuel L. Jackson came up and did that one. And then they also honored other black celebrities and artists who passed away last year. So it was good seeing that. I thought that was beautiful. Uh, I thought that was a dope way of honoring the legends and the people who are no longer with us. They also have a lot of big special recognitions. So uh, in there, so Viola Davis got the NAACP Chairman Award, and her speech, man, I will go on YouTube and watch that multiple times just to lift my spirits. Her speech was like a call to action plus motivational inspiration plus just reminding everybody that don't forget your value, don't forget your roots, don't forget who you are. And it was poetic. It really was. And I like that she shouted out the everyday people, the caretakers, the teachers, the nurses, anybody who work the jobs that are always forgotten or not recognized and things like that. Like she really did an amazing job with her speech. Like the speech was not, she did not make the speech about her or her getting an award. She made it about the community and other people who aren't big names or celebrities, stuff like that. And that was just amazing. So I really do appreciate that. So congratulations to Viola Davis for the Chairman Award. Then we had Salt and Pepper, who won the Hall of Fame Award, and that was presented by the rapper MC Light. And to see all three of them together, Salt, Pepper, and Spinderella, and it was love. And because y'all, if y'all know the history of Salt and Pepper, it's been a lot of beefs, falling out, getting back together, issues with the record label because the record label cheated all of them for their money. Like, and so for them to get their flowers and their love, and for them to come together, and for Spinderella to come out and say that at the end of the day, these are my sisters and it's all love and I love them, that felt so good. Like I said, if you've been a fan of hip hop and music, and even those ladies, they they've fallen out, gotten back together, fallen out, gotten back together. And it just felt good that this was like a happy, peaceful, loving reunion. And all three of them got their flowers that they deserved. So congratulations to Salt and Pepper for the Hall of Fame. And then we got my guy, the king, Mr. Coleman Domingo, who got the NAACP oh shoot, I think Achievement Award, President's Award. The president of the NAACP came out and presented him with this award. And first of all, his style, his fashion, his outfit was top notch. Coleman is one of them dudes. I love him. He is not only a black legend and a black icon, but a gay icon. And I appreciate him being who he is, and in his skin, and a proud masculine uh, gay man who just amazing, amazing. His speech was also encouraging, loving, beautifully. He dedicated to his father, and it was amazing. And I really, really love that. All their speeches were amazing and very, very inspiring to watch and see, especially if you watch these artists, these actors, these musicians since day one. or earlier back in the day when they first started up until now. You know their legacy, you know the hard work they put in, and it was just great that they get to get their flowers while they're still alive. Um, and that's what I really love. Now let's get to some winners of some categories. Um, so let's see. Now I'm not gonna go through all of them because they had a lot of awards from directing, from TV, um, dramas, comedies, movies, a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm just gonna do the ones that I enjoyed or I felt was a good standout. Of course, best directing in a motion picture went to our guy Ryan Coogler for Sinners. Sinners went home with some pretty good award shows. Um, so Ryan Coogler got best directing for movies. Um, let's see, for motion picture. Let's see, in television, the best director in television. Now, charges to my head, not my heart. I'm gonna try to pronounce his name correctly, but it's Otande Osamani for his episode in Star Trek Section 31. And then we have outstanding directing in a drama TV series for Mario Van Peebles for Power Book 3. Let's see. Best directing in a comedy series went to Tyler James Williams for his episode The Science Fair in Abbott Elementary. Let's see. Best literature, books, literature. We have Michelle Obama, the former First Lady, for her book The Look, for outstanding literary work, biography, autobiography. Best children's book went to Yvonne Clark and her Engineering Spark, by Alan R. Wells. Best literary work in fiction, the winner went to Nettie O'Connor for the book Death of the Author, which I do have that in my audio book playlist to listen to later. Because I've been hearing a lot about that book. A lot of people have been talking about it. And so I went ahead and added that. I just haven't listened to it yet. Let's see. But like I said, even before this award show, I've been hearing people talk about that a lot. Best podcast. Now, this is my category. Y'all know I love me some podcasting. Best podcast. The winner for podcast and art, sports, entertainment went to Michelle Obama and her brother Craig Robinson for In My Opinion. And I do love that podcast. I've been listening to that every week. Actually, I watch it on YouTube, but I love their podcast. I love the interviews they've been getting lately. Uh, let's see. Best lifestyle and health podcast also went to Michelle Obama. Um, for the same podcast. Best news and information went to Don Lemon for the Don Lemon Show. Uh, best scripted in a limited series went to Interesting Things with JC by Malcolm Jamal Warner, and that's a uh, I can't posthumous posthumous award because he did unfortunately pass away last year. Um, and then of course, Best Society and Culture podcast went to Don Lemon again for uh, the Don Lemon Show. I was rooting for Higher Learning with Van Lathan and Rachel Lindsay, but I'm not mad at Don Lemon for winning. But yeah, those are the podcast awards. Then we have, let's do music. Let's do music right quick. Best female artist, Cardi B for Am I the Drama. Best male artist went to Kendrick Lamar for uh GNX. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. And then best new artist went to Manello for What did the body. So congratulations to the musical artists. And then motion picture, best actor went to Michael B. Jordan for Sinners. Best actress went to Cynthia Erivo for Wicked for Good. Best animation went to Disney's Zootopia 2. Best breakthrough performance went to Miles Canton for Sinners. Best character voice performance went to Quentin Bronson for Zootopia 2. Best cinematography, that's my category right there, went to my girl Autumn Duran Akapa for Sinners. So I was so happy she won that. Best ensemble cast also went to the whole Sinners cast. Everybody won that. And Delroy Lindo did a speech in representing for the cast who are all on stage, and they look beautiful and amazing. And the speech was amazing. So congratulations to all of them. And it's a lot in the movie category. Best supporting actor went to Delroy Lindo for Sinners, and Best Supporting Actress went to Wunmi Mosaku for Sinners. So I was so happy about that. I was so happy to see that both of them got their flowers and their award because they deserved it. So congrats to them. And it's a lot more in the movie category, but I'm not going to do all those. And let's go. Oh, digital content creators. Now, this is one that I really love because that's something I am. Digital content creators. These are, so we have best digital content creator in art and comedy, which one went to comedian T Sanders, which I love. I watch a lot of her content either on YouTube or Facebook. So I'm happy she won that. Best in fashion and beauty went to Wisdom K. Best wellness fitness went to and food went to Keith Lee. Y'all know Keith Lee. He's the food critic, famous popular food critic. Best gaming and tech content creator. The winner went to Berlin Ahmed Jr. And then content creator for political and culture commentary went to my girl. I love her, Miss Lene Vinny. So happy to see her. She's the one who videos I always repost on Instagram, parking lot pimping, where she be like, it's Friday and I'm gonna keep it black, but I'm gonna keep it brief. So super happy that she won for political and culture for content creation. So I love that the content creators got their chance to shine. Now, the big award of the night, the biggest award of the night was Entertainer of the Year. This the one that all the categories were voted from people in the NAACP Academy, but Entertainer of the Year was voted by the fans. This was the only award that night that the fans got to go online and vote for. So again, the nominees for this was Cynthia Erivo, Dochi, Kendrick Lamar, Michael B. Jordan, and Tiana Taylor. And I was not mad at anybody in this case. If any of them would have won, I would have been happy. I would have been, because they all deserved it. They really did the damn thing all last year. And we are happy to announce that the winner is our guy, Michael B. Jordan. And it was so good. He won 2 awards that night. It was so good. He won Best Actor and he won the actual Entertainer of the Year. And so, yeah, he took home the prize. Michael B. Jordan's trophy case got to be, just for this year alone with Centers, got to be full. Like, and I hope he gets to add Oscar to that. In a week or so, whenever the Oscars air. But we'll see. Even if he don't, he got more than enough love and shine, and I'm happy that he got the biggest award of the night, the prestigious award, because him playing 2 different characters in Centers and commanded that role. And like Michael B. Jordan been the one from The Wire to Fruitville Station to Creed. He was the best thing in Black Panther as Killmonger. Like, he has always shown range and he has always shown his talent, but to finally get the flowers he really deserved for something like Sinners, his role as Sinners, playing Smoke and Stack, it was great. And his acceptance speech and him thanking his mom and his siblings and his father, it was just beautiful. And at one of those awards, I think it was the Best Actor award, when he got through saying his acceptance speech, he was like, "Woo, I love being Black." Like, I felt that when he did that, he was like, "Woo, I just love being Black." Like, I felt that in my soul, and it was just, it was amazing. It was beautiful. So yep, he won the biggest award of the night, and it was beautiful. It was amazing. Like I said, this award show was my favorite. It was my favorite of the year. It was so good. Everybody who won deserved it. I don't feel like there were any snubs. I was happy for whoever. I'm like Issa Rae. I'm rooting for everybody Black. And it was just amazing. People got their flowers. Even the people who didn't win, but they were nominated. Like, it was just amazing. The smaller content creators all the way to the big Hollywood elites. It was great. And it showed how great, entertainment wise, how great 2026 really was. Entertainment wise, I was reminded, like, dang, I forgot that came out. Oh, I forgot I heard that. Oh, that was a good album. Oh, that was a good show. That was a good podcast. Like, it was just amazing to see. And it shows our beauty, it shows our talent, it shows our style, it shows our charisma. And like I said, I'm still gonna watch the Oscars and I'm still gonna cover the Oscars because I've covered all the major award shows so far. But there's nothing like your own stuff. Instead of begging for a seat at the table, you build your own. And the NAACP Image Awards been around for 57 years. This ain't no new award show. They've been around forever. Um, and I'm happy that they're still around and they're still doing the damn thing. It was amazing. So those are my thoughts and my recap of the NAACP Image Awards. Again, in a week or so, the Oscars are going to come out and we're going to see who wins, who gets snubbed, and all that stuff. And I will cover that. But I wanted us to give us our love that we deserve, and give us our coverage, because not a lot of people, at least especially on the podcasting YouTube space, actually covers this and goes in depth on these award shows. So I'm going to continue to highlight and showcase and love on our award shows just as much as the Grammys, the Oscars, the Emmys, and stuff, because we deserve it. So shout out to the whole NAACP, um, Image Awards, the whole committee, the voters, everybody. And I can't wait for next year. I can't wait to see who gets nominated and who wins next year. But it's only March. We still got a whole lot more months to go and a whole lot more um, talent to showcase. Fred, what it do? Thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. Appreciate y'all. Let me make sure I'm not missing anybody. Christopher Walker, thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. Thanks for supporting this morning. So that is it for. Oop, sorry, y'all, if y'all hear that. Somebody's car alarm is going off. So that is it for today's episode. Next week, let me see what I have on the docket, because I kind of forgot my schedule. I think next week we'll be talking Scream 7. Yes, but there's something else we will talk. Oh, Scream 7 next week, and then it's gonna be Scream 7, the movie Primate, the horror film Primate, and the docu series Reality Check, America's Next Top Model, that's on Netflix. So, yeah, I have three things I'll be talking about on that. So we'll do America's Next Top Model doc, Primate, and Scream 7 on next week. So tap in. And then the week after that, I got more music. We got Jill Scott's album that she released, as well as the rapper Baby Keem. So that will be the week after that. And we will continue the schedule from there. But thank y'all for tapping in to today's episode of Snake Cinema Podcast. I really do appreciate y'all always supporting your boy, no matter what. Tonight, today, this evening, we have OTP on Royal Caribbean Exotics channel. OTP, off the plank. I don't know who the guest is, but it's gonna be a good show with the family lamb. And then after that, we have Sophisticated Ignorance with Wiz and the whole Wiz Tang crew. So be on the lookout for that. Then Sunday we have Nikki and Lace with Show Us Your Rack. And their special guest is Lindworm Exotic. So that's Randall and Big Double L. And then we have after that Father Dunn with Everyday Keepers. And then after that we have Fred and AJ with with Serpent Serpent Snake Show. Fred and AJ with Serpent Snake Show. And so it's a fun filled weekend. Saturdays is the days, and Sundays is the days to come and get all your good content. Um, Reptile and non-reptile and everything in between. And speaking of non-reptiles, let's don't forget to tap in Thursdays to the Shenanigans podcast with me and my wonderful co-host Bear, Candy, Father Don, and Maki. This past week was an amazing episode. We had a special guest, Ashley from Short Tail Sweetie. I appreciate her, and she gave us a great topic of dating while owning reptiles or dating in the community, which we all kind of got crazy and a little spicy in there, but it was fun. So if you missed that episode, hashtag replay gang, it was a lot of fun. So, and we welcome all guests. If anybody else want to guest on the Shenanigans podcast or have topics, even if you don't want to be a guest, but you have a topic you want us to talk about, whether it's reptile related or not, hit me up in the DMs on Instagram. Let me know, and we could get it popping. We love taking requests, topic requests. But anyways, I think that's it. If I forget some, charges to my head, not my heart. This episode is brought to you by ENT Reptiles, Orlando and TJ. And we appreciate y'all. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you, AJ. Thank you, Mitzi. Appreciate y'all. I appreciate everybody who tuned in this morning live. And I also appreciate those who are going to hit the replay. Hashtag replay gang. And I will see y'all next week. Remember, next week, 2 horror films and a documentary. It's going to be a great time, a great show. And weekend after that, it's going to be music. And 9 times out of 10, the Oscars will be out. I can't remember. So eventually we'll talk all that jazz. But anyways, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I will check y'all on the next episode. Peace out, home slices.
Episode, spitting truth, old school jams and the latest youth. We keep it real, no sugarcoat.